In this video, I wanted to give you a little bit of an energy update. We're mid to the end of April right now, and things are continuing to ramp up. There's a lot of energy that is coming through that is giving us the ability to find some inner stillness and inner peace. But in order for that to happen, especially if you haven't been doing your meditating and your breath work and finding that present moment throughout the day, you're going to have a lot of things coming up that are going to be representative of triggers. There's going to be a lot of identities, old identities, that are going to be rearing their heads now so that they can be seen. So you may notice that there are older types of scenarios or situations or familiar energy from when you were younger starting to come up now to be felt. For me, that looks like situations of where I feel like I don't have control, or I can't really want to wrap my head around how something is going to go, what direction it's going to take, and things like that. The uncertainty, not knowing the future, that's the stuff that's coming up within me right now. Maybe that's happening within you too, if you've had those types of events from when you were younger. I've had a lot of experience with that, trauma around that, still trying to find out what might have created those types of traumas and that energy. But sure enough, now in April, it is rising up for me to feel it. So what do? Well, I do my best to not identify with it or become it, because these identities, this energy, is very, very familiar, and the ego likes familiarity. So it will try to get you into that mode or into that energy to actually become that identity and relive your life through that identity. And what we want to do is be able to have the presence of mind, or the space, to be able to simply observe these old identities rising up to be experienced and not become them. That is so, so important. We want to allow them the space to be, so that we can just feel that energy and see it through a lens of a higher perspective, of a higher frequency version of us. That allows that love to come through so that we can embrace this dense energy, these aspects of us that were traumatized, and allow them to come back into the fold. And we do that by allowing them to be seen and felt. Okay, but we do that with awareness so that we're not drawn into becoming those identities. When you become those identities, let's say you start to have a lot of anxiety over things maybe you can't control, and you lose sight that you're a multidimensional being, and you separate from that aligned high frequency energy, you actually relive in these traumas. And that is something that is happening to a lot of people right now. There's a lot of really directed high frequency light coming into the chakras. For me recently, it's been a lot of heart space stuff. I've been feeling tension and pain around the heart area, which is a representation of energy and awareness that I need to bring forward. I need to fully feel this. This is showing me a little bit of a heart wall where I have closed off to aspects of myself, maybe closed off a little bit to love. And I've been more in a framework or perspective of anxiety. And this is showing me where to bring my attention so that I could get in under this density and allow myself to cultivate that emotion of love and allow that to expand and encompass the density, these old versions of me that are rising up to be seen. So that's just one example. There's other examples. I'm sure you're going through this as well at times. I've been seeing reports of third eye pressure, crown, all sorts of chakra imbalances. Things are being highlighted right now so that we can really dive in and do the work. But when you do that, you're going to realize that all the work you've been doing over the past few years has really built new circuitry within your body, because it is so much easier to dive back inside and feel or find that sense of alignment. It's there because you've been doing an amazing job in cultivating it over the last X number of years. You've been building that circuitry within your body. You've been healing the dense energy, and you have really found that space of alignment. Now, as these identities come up, these traumas, these old versions of you rise up, sure, they're very attractive, and you're going to want to dive into the comfort of them because we've spent our whole life doing that. But there's an awareness there underneath the surface that gives you the ability to really spot what's happening, okay, so that you can make a conscious choice to not become, not to live, temporarily as those versions, but to maintain that state of presence, maintain that space, and allow them to fully come up to be felt. That's what is so important to do right now. Bring that new circuitry online that you've been working on over the past few years. Allow that to do its job. Get back into center. You have this magnetic singularity in the heart space. Allow yourself to sink into here. Use your breath if necessary to do that. And allow these emotions that are coming up, this density, to be felt and to be seen. Now, a lot of things also are happening within dreams, because dreams are a little bit of a looser framework for us to uncover emotional trauma that we've maybe been burying or immune to or even desensitized to in your waking state. So in the dream state, you could have this energy come up and you could experience it in a way that gives rise to that awareness after you wake up in the morning. Okay, so you may not remember the dreams right away, but if you're active at night, you're waking up and you're remembering that, journal it, write it down. Later on the day, go back to what you wrote down, and maybe that'll trigger some of these memories and some of these emotions that dream state was created to allow you to experience. And you're creating that within the dream state. Dreams can look really, really wacky. They may have no relation to what's happening in your waking life, but sure enough, they're showing you something. They're just showing you something in a different dimensional field. So it looks different, but the emotions are the same. So when you can identify, feel those emotions and identify what they are, when you wake up, you remember those emotions, you could bring more awareness to it. Okay, they're not just gone. You could actually heal that when you're awake, when you wake up in the morning. Okay, so it's important to keep that journal if you need. If you're having trouble remembering your dreams, go back to it throughout your day and see what it triggers, what memories it triggers within you, because there's a hand-in-hand thing going on here between the dream state and your awakened state during the day. So let's see it as a whole here, and let's work with it to further heal, to get into that deep healing, because a lot of these things that are happening now, a lot of these activations, in order for this deeper stuff and this DNA to activate and continue activating, you're going to start to release the deeper layers of density. It's going to start to come up, stuff that's been harbored, desensitized, stuff you've avoided for a long, long time. Okay, so as we get in and the frequency gets higher that we're receiving, a lot of ninth dimensional energy coming in, streaming in, so you're able to really tune into everything in between here and there. Okay, that's going to release a lot of emotional baggage, a lot of emotional tension. Okay, so have the presence, hold your alignment, breathe into your body, sit and meditate with these emotions so that you can create that space and again, allow them to breathe. We are bringing them up, and we want to allow them the space. When we try to suppress this dense energy, these emotions, they will come up in a bigger way later because your body can no longer hold the density. Your physical body is rising in frequency. This stuff has to come up. And the more you try to keep it suppressed, the more you're going to suffer. So trust in the process. Get into your body frequently throughout your day, 3 or 4 times throughout your day. Take 5 minutes and breathe. Remind yourself that you're a multidimensional being. Reconnect with yourself 3, 4, 5 times throughout your day for 5 minutes. Okay, reconnect with your higher self. Feel that new circuitry that you've built within your body. Feel that sense of peace, that sense of gratitude, that sense of joy, that sense of love. And further cultivate that. That is expanding. And as the density rises up, as you're triggered, allow it to breathe. Breathe with it. Okay, get it in sync with the higher version of you. And allow it to just simply be. It will melt away. And more of your higher self will drop in. More of your DNA will be activated. More of your inherent knowing and knowledge, your intuition will come online, as well as your instructions on how to navigate the amazing new energetic field that is new earth that is unfolding right before our eyes. Thank you.